give like a quick summary in case anyone who watching this video for some reason does not know who this man is, Luke Belmar. Let's do a bit of maybe like a 1 minute intro about you, where you've come from, your life story, how you started making money, how you made all these millions.
So I'm from Argentina. Okay. At the age of 16, my parents come from a very poor family. We lived in a small little village of like 18,000 people, about 2 hours away from Buenos Aires, the main city. And at the age of 16, I was tired, just saturated with this bullshit of working a job, following the career path that you were meant to follow. Because I realized one thing, bro. I realized all these people that are giving me advice, do I want to live the life that they live? And when the answer was no, then I wouldn't listen to them. So when my parents said, hey, you should do this, you should go to this university, you should go to this location, you should hang out with these people, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't do that. And then I evaluated the outcome of their life as much as I love them. I was like, well, I don't want the life that my parents have. I want a different life. Therefore, I have to achieve different things and I have to input different results. And I have to do different kind of measurements of business if I want to elevate. I can't be doing what my parents do. If my parents are doing 50K, 100K a month, I can't be capped by that mindset. I can't be capped by that information. So at the age of 16,
you moved to US.
My uncle, in fact, is a pilot. And since we couldn't afford, the ability to sit in a regular seat because I couldn't buy a ticket, my uncle let me sit in the flight attendant seat. So there I was at the age of 16 with $200 that my parents gave me in a suitcase on my way to America. Alone. So I went from, working, cleaning toilets, power washing streets, knocking doors, sleeping in my car, homeless, working at restaurants, washing dishes.
What was your first job in the US?
My first job in the US was pressure washing basketball courts. Wow. That was my first job in America, bro. And then cleaning toilets was my second job.
Cleaning toilets?
Yeah.
You've cleaned toilets?
Clean toilets. And there it was called code brown or code black when a toilet got clogged. So I started from the trenches, and it was about 2015. I got introduced, long story short, to Bitcoin. Got introduced to crypto.
But you started dropshipping before that?
No. In fact, my first exposure to anything that came with money-making opportunities was in fact the markets. And then, of course, you have a $25,000 threshold in order for you to day trade, right? Because America has this bullshit rule that you can only trade like 3 times every couple days if you have a balance less than 25K, because they don't want people getting liquidated. So it's like my first goal is how can I make 25K, right? To be in a situation where I can in fact day trade. And I don't have to put a trade and swing it and wait for it. So I was like, I need to make more money.
Right.
So I started waiting tables, doing 2-3 jobs at a time, sleeping in my car, saving money. Because in the US, in many restaurants, you get paid your tips that same day. So what I would do is I would take the cash, right? I would go to Wells Fargo, the ATM in my car. I would deposit the money. It's so vivid in my mind. I would deposit the money. It would be instantly reflected, the balance in my bank account.
Yeah.
And we would spend half of the budget buying crypto, right, on Bitstamp. And then the other half, it would be our advertising budget for Facebook ads for that day. So we were on a day-to-day basis.
You were selling something on Facebook?
Correct. So we started drop shipping probably about 6 to 7 months after I got exposed to the markets. We did extremely well 2019, 2020, made a couple $1 million, and then rolled over my entire net worth, every single penny of my net worth into crypto in 2020. In the crash of March, I remember we were playing Call of Duty. Yeah. I rented a villa in Miami while everybody was freaking the out about COVID. I was just chilling, making my money, making my moves. And I realized that this was my event to get rich. This was my moment. So I set all my buy orders on Bittrex and on Kraken. And I was buying order blocks of Ethereum, $10,000 every order block at like $90 a piece. Yeah. And then we were buying Cardano at half a penny. Wow. And my biggest play, of course, was, which is what I'm most famous for, is PancakeSwap.
Your top 10 holder in PancakeSwap.
I was a top 10 holder. I owned 1% of the not of the circulating supply, the whole supply of PancakeSwap, even though they continue adding tokens now. But I owned 1% of the supply, sub 50 cents or sub $25 million market cap, something ridiculous. And I rode that up to $2.6 billion market cap. So much so that I tattooed it on my neck.
So how much did you make from that investment?
Millions. It was a good opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Enough to put me away for the rest of my life. Yeah, from that play alone, 30 years. I could live 30 years just from that.
How much money was it?
A lot.
Like, you care to see the amount?
Over 5.
Over $5 million?
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing. And how much did you make from the dropshipping?
Generated over 16.
$16 million revenue. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, easy light work, bro. The goal is, what people don't understand is that the goal in business is to make money, but then you got to multiply the money.
Yeah.
And it's easier to multiply it through investments and through high risk, high yield opportunities, because when you're young, like we are, you can take risks.
Yeah.
You can do things that most people aren't willing to do. You can
be aggressive. You don't have
be
a
aggressive.
feet.
Exactly. And that's what I did. I was aggressive. But just like I made, $5 to $7 million in a day in crypto, which is where I made most of my money, I've also lost a ton of money, right? Because I realized that if you want to play big, right, and you want to make a lot of money, you have to be able to bet big as well. Yeah. And that's what people don't talk about. You see it on the news, you see it on Yahoo or CNBC, you see a fund lose $100 million or $200 million, and you don't actually think about how much money that actually is.
Yeah.
But that's a bet. That's a bet. So I came to realize I'm no longer in the business of doing bets for drop shipping. I'm no longer betting on $50 ad sets and shit of that nature. I'm here doing 10 million plus deals. That's the game that I'm in at this point. Because since you're expending the same amount of time and energy, might as well secure a bigger bag.
Yeah. No, definitely we're gonna talk about all those crypto ventures. But before we get into it, I want to talk a bit about the dropshipping days. How was the dropshipping journey, the e-commerce business? When did you make your first money? Let's say your first $1 million month, or even went on to make your first $1 million day. Talk us through that
2007.
process. First of all, do you care to say what you were selling on?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what my biggest niche was. My biggest niche was home products. Why? Because I understood that I needed a few things in order to succeed in dropshipping. One is I needed an evergreen market. I needed to sell a product that wasn't a one-off. I couldn't have one-time customers. I needed repeat customers with long and high lifetime value retention. I needed my customers to be worth more than $14 and spending a ton of money and paying Zuck to give me these customers, because I understood how complicated it was going to be, because the model was very simple, therefore it could be replicated.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's make our money with drop shipping. It's really good, but also we need to be adapting on everything that's back end, our SMS flows, our email marketing, our ability to build a funnel of products based on.
Where'd you learn all this stuff from?
Bro, it's all on the internet, and it's logic. If you're thinking about a customer journey, right? Let's say you enter into my business. Yeah. A lot of this has to do with logic. People are like, oh, where did you learn this shit? Where did you read this? Sometimes you just have to sit down and analyze. Sometimes you just have to sit down and think. Most people don't think.
They don't have any time to think. They're always scrolling away, and
they have time. They don't make it.
Yeah.
They don't make time to. They don't make time to think. And when you understand that thinking is actually a skill, you begin to develop it.
Yeah.
Thinking is a skill set. I spent, in fact, it was about 8 to 12 months sitting around a fire. Literally, it was my job to sit around the fire, and we were just masterminding. I would bring different people into my house. I would come spend a few weeks with us, and we would literally sit down and mastermind. I didn't make money for that period of time. We were making, 100, 200K a month, light work, but I spent my entire time developing how to think. And what I realized is, with drop shipping specifically, is that in order for you to have a winning niche, you need a couple things. The first one is an evergreen ecosystem, your ability to continuously sell in perpetuity.
Okay.
The second thing is you need a big enough audience.
Okay.
So your pool of customers, if you're trying to scale to $1 million day, you can't have a 200,000 person audience.
You need a big market.
You need a big market.
Target the masses.
So that's why I was like, okay, let me sell household products, because every person is going to need this in perpetuity, always and forever.
100%.
And then finally, I was like, I need to make sure, because a lot of people drop ship and they try to finesse Facebook. I'm like, dude, I'm not in the business of finessing Facebook. I want to have a good relationship with Facebook.
Yeah.
They are giving me the ability to advertise. I want a good relationship.
Yeah, you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly. So I built good relationships with reps. I had good ad credits. And what I came to realize is I can actually still succeed and follow their terms and conditions. So when COVID rolled around, which was our first kind of like $1 million day, was
$1 million in a day.
Light work. I've done $5 million in a day. Profit. It's nothing, bro. What you're looking at here, Dubai, what I'm doing is pennies, dude. You look in Dubai, these printing $1 billion a day. So when all these kids on the internet, they're like, oh, $5 million, there's no way. Dude, you have no idea the level of wealth there is out there, and your pee-wee brain can't get it. It's okay. So $5 million is chump change. I see it as a stepping stone to what we're going to be doing in the future. So a lot of people are like, oh, $5 million, show the receipts. Bro, my out here doing $1 billion a day.